As an athlete, you're constantly on the move, whether you're practicing different plays with your team, lifting weights to strengthen your body, battling against your opponent during competition, or simply just going to class, you're constantly on the go. With so much energy being used on a daily basis, athletes always have to stay hydrated. Hydration helps delay fatigue, maintain mental focus, regulate body temperature, satisfy thirst, and improve their ability to recover from training and competition. It allows athletes to perform to the best of their ability both on and off the court. UPMC Sports Medicine provides medical services to athletes looking to treat, rehabilitate, or prevent sport related injuries. The UPMC is the official sports medicine provider for various teams such as the Pittsburgh Steelers and Penguins, University of Pitt, and a host of other teams and organizations in the surrounding area. UPMC Sports Medicine provides helpful tips and guidance for injuries. They also provide a list of sport specific injuries as well as ways to prevent these injuries and some drills to utilize during training. As this relates to hydration, the UPMC Sports Medicine Group has developed 7 hydration tips for athletes. These tips are helpful to ensure that athletes keep their bodies hydrated on a daily basis and allows them to perform both on and off the field. Let's take a look at these tips. Tip number 1, follow a daily hydration plan. Throughout the day, you have to consume liquid just to stay hydrated. It could be anything from water to juice to sports drinks to coffee. You just need to consume some sort of liquid in order to keep yourself hydrated. It's proven that for women, they're supposed to consume about 91 ounces of a liquid form per day. That could be, again, water, juice, coffee. Just make sure that they stay hydrated. And that's about, I would say, maybe 7 bottles of water or equivalent to 7 bottles of water. It is proven for men that they're supposed to consume about 125 ounces per day. And that's roughly around, I would say, 8 bottles, whether that's, again, water, juice, coffee, you name it. Gotta take my, my sip for today. So tip number 2 is monitor fluid loss. Sometimes athletes, they don't know when they're losing fluids. They don't know how much fluids they're losing. But it's essential that in order to kind of monitor this, you check your weight before, during, and after a workout. It could be a workout, it could be during or before and after competition, it could be before and after practice, but you need to monitor your fluid loss. So I'm gonna take you over here and we're gonna check out my weight. Start off, I'm gonna pull this out a little bit. Get you this on. Okay, I'll step on here real quick. And so right now, I'm 152.4, as you can see. So basically, that's what I am right now. Now, after my workout, if it's 1 to 3% less than that, that means that I am dehydrated and I need to get more fluids in my system. To replace that, you're supposed to drink about 20 to 24 ounces of fluid, and that could be a sports drink, that could be water, but just want to get yourself back to that hydration level. So tip number 3, watch for signs of dehydration during exercise. So as you can see, the athlete is working hard right now, got a good sweat going. Just continue to jump rope, and his coordination begins to decline because he's starting to mess up. As you can see, messed up the first time, messed up again. So he's trying to push through it, but in the process, he's getting tired. And this is where his dehydration is really starting to kick in, as you can see. He's trying to still push through it. And as you can see, he's starting to get a cramp. Another sign of dehydration. Cramping is not really good for the athlete. Well, it's not good at all. Trying to stretch it out and trying to push through it. Gonna still try to work through it. Do a couple reps to continue his workout. As you can see though, he's starting to slow down because as his dehydration is kicking in, his muscles are starting to be fatigued and he can't really push through as much as he wants to. These are all signs of his performance going down and a sign of dehydration. Tip number 4, hydrate with your foods. There are many other sources of hydration besides just beverages. Something that you might not know is that 20 or 30% of your hydration or your fluid comes from eating foods. There most doctors and physicians or whatnot, they recommend that you consume fruits. Specifically for athletes, fruits really help before, during, and even after a workout. I'm gonna take you over real quick to the refrigerator. I actually got a little fruit myself. Got some watermelon. Because usually they, specifically for athletes, they try to tell you to consume like watermelon, cantaloupe, strawberries, something like that before or after workout, because it's not too heavy on the body, and it allows you just to get a little energy. That's good. Tip number 5, choose your sports drink. Okay, most of the time, obviously you want to consume a lot of water, but sometimes you just don't. Sometimes you want to get something different. Another option to consume and keep yourself hydrated is sports drinks. Consuming sports drinks is good, especially when you're working out for a long period of time. Specifically, like if you're working at or above 60 minutes, sports drinks are ideal just to kind of keep you hydrated and keep you going. Usually you want to get a sports drink that has different things like carbohydrates, potassium, and some sodium. These allow you to kind of just replenish yourself after getting a good workout, or even during a good workout when you're losing different things like, you have a lot of sweat loss and things like that. It just helps fuel you, things like that. So actually, since I work for a school that is a Coke product base, I guess you could say, I usually choose Gatorade, but there's other sports drinks. You have Powerade, you have there are different sports drinks, Core Power. There's a lot of different sports drinks, a lot of even like vitamin water or Propel you have as well, but I usually like to choose Gatorade. I don't know which one I would choose this time, but probably the orange one, but that's what I choose. So tip number 6, establish fuel breaks. So basically you're supposed to consume 48 ounces of fluid within like every 15 to 20 minutes of an activity. This will like assist in honestly just getting yourself hydrated, keeping yourself hydrated, and then this helps to prevent dehydration. It doesn't really matter what you consume. It could be water, it could be a sports drink, but just as long as you're consuming it consistently. So I've developed a workout plan here for my athlete. Got a little band workout. So you start with box jumps, pull-ups, dumbbell push press, and then I have a 15-minute fluid break in there, and then hang clean with a front squat, Russian twist, hanging knee tucked, and then I have another 15-minute fluid break. So then I'm gonna go over here, and as you see, you got the athlete doing his workout. He's doing box jumps right now, and then he got pull-ups and a couple other things. But then after that, he's gonna have to do his 15-minute fluid break. So he's gonna continue that for a little bit. As you can see, he had 4 sets of 8 reps, and then he's just gonna continue to go down the line until he gets to that 15-minute fluid break. So there you go. Tip number 7, you don't have to avoid coffee. Obviously, you want to consume water. That's your number 1 source. And then secondly, you want to consume sports drinks. That's like your second option. But again, you don't have to avoid coffee. Having moderate coffee intake actually helps with your fluid needs. And what I mean by that is having a cup of coffee in the morning or a cup of coffee late at night. That's not a bad thing to have in terms of hydrating yourself. 1 cup of coffee actually contains about 50 milligrams of caffeine, which actually helps produce a diuretic effect. And what I mean by that is it helps in terms of your urine and just helps make it more smooth, I guess you could say. So basically, it's not a bad thing to have coffee. Obviously, you want water to be your number 1 source of hydration, but it's okay to mix in a little coffee here and there. And you can make it, which you can see here. I have a coffee maker. I have my coffee mug, but I'm not the best at making coffee, so I usually just buy it. So I usually have my coffee right here.